Welcome back to Let's Play DDO Permadeath. So, since this is a relatively new character, I've only been playing for a few sessions, I thought I should reintroduce what I'm doing here for the benefit of anyone new to my videos. Meanwhile, I'm going to be doing the Korthos Explorer area, which I earned access to in the previous video. So the aim of my playlist here is to play a Permadeath character solo, hopefully up to level 20, although more likely I'll die somewhere on the way. So I'm playing Permadeath on this guy. That means that if the character dies, I have to leave the guild that I'm a member of, and I then delete the character. You don't have to delete the character, but I don't play them once they cease being Permadeath. I don't know why I'm going up here, it's not even an explorer. So, to give a little more detail on that, I'm not allowed to use raise shrines at all on this guy. If I have ways to raise myself without a raise shrine, that is allowed, but this guy probably will never have any such means. And I can't release from a quest without some forfeiting, so to speak. So apart from that rule, which is the main rule for Permadeath, of course, I'm playing by the rules of my guild, Extreme Explorers, which is one of the main Permadeath guilds, based on Sahaugin. As with most Permadeath guilds, there are restrictions on equipment you can use and such things.
A mangled sewer grate leads to an old abandoned Kenneth manufactory.
So I'm not allowed to group with any characters outside of the guild, but that doesn't bother me on this guy since I'm playing pure solo. I'm not allowed to exchange equipment with anyone outside the guild or with any of my other characters, except one heirloom item that I can take from a previous dead Permadeath character of mine, which in this case is a +1 to +2 dex upgrade tome, which I have in the bank, which is of no use to me yet. The guild allows you to exchange equipment with other characters in the guild, providing there's characters belonging to other players in the guild, providing they're within 3 levels of you. But as I'm playing this guy solo, I won't be doing that either. The auction house is allowed, but I won't be using it on this guy. The auction house is allowed, but you're not allowed to sell things over base value, so you can't accumulate some huge amounts of money if you just happen to find something really valuable. So you can... I will sell stuff on the auction house on this guy, but I'm not allowed to buy anything except tomes. I'm not allowing myself to buy anything except tomes. And this guy doesn't actually need any tomes for his build, and tomes seem too expensive these days really for Permadeath characters to ever afford them, so I probably won't even make use of that.
This broken structure once formed an elaborate aqueduct.
So the aim will be to get all the way from level 1 to level 20 if I can, and all of the sessions that I play on this character will all be recorded and put on YouTube. All part of the playlist that this video is part of.
You come across a makeshift camp. A scraggly dwarf sits on a log, trying in vain to keep warm.
I'm just going to wander up and get Misery's Peak. I really want to get XP as fast as I can on this guy so I can level up, since that boosts my damage and survivability. So rather than wait, I'm grabbing the explorers as soon as I can. Let's see, what else to say about Permadeath rules.
A bone-chilling breeze
So
emanates
I'm not
from the
allowed
mouth
to
of
buy any
Misery's Peak.
advantageous items for the DDO store, obviously. Which is actually one of the really nice features of Permadeath, I think. There's no pay-to-win allowed whatsoever. No offense to anybody that likes buying stuff on the DDO store, intended. I know lots of people just like having the better equipment or having as many spell points as they want to use. But it's a nice feature of Permadeath, I think, that you aren't tempted to spend any unnecessary money on it. And everybody is at exactly the same power level. Alright, the rare is not here.
Followers of the Devourer make sacrifices to their evil god at this
Alright,
spell
another
shrine.
action point. I'm not sure where I got up to here. No hirelings are allowed over level 6, and I won't use hirelings at all on this guy except where I need them to pull levers. Obviously where I'm soloing, some of the quests don't work solo without a hireling.
This entrance leads down into an ancient kind of aqueduct.
So the rules I described there are, I guess, a kind of confusing mixture between the stuff that's guild rules and the stuff that are self-imposed rules. So the no buying stuff on the auction house except homes is a self-imposed rule. I just think it's more interesting to try and work with found gear. The soloing is obviously self-imposed, whereas the basic Permadeath rules are obviously guild rules. I will post a link to the guild rules in the description of this video, so people can check those out if they're interested. And indeed anyone that's interested in the guild is of course welcome to join. It's open to new members always. There are quite a number of different Permadeath guilds, of course, and the rules vary quite a bit from guild to guild, so anyone that wanted to try Permadeath should definitely compare some of the guilds before picking one. Some of the other guilds, I guess you could characterize their rules as being they're trying to make the game much harder. So some of the guilds like Modern Voyage have rules like you have to do everything on hard or above, and may have other restrictions like not using all the shrines or things like that. Extreme Explorers is one of the more relaxed Permadeath guilds, I think, in that there's very few restrictions other than the basic one of if you die, you're dead. And I think it's just a difference of what people are looking for from the game, really. Some people have been playing for a long time and they're really looking for a very tough challenge, and don't mind if that means that they don't get out of the low-level content. I don't really play Permadeath because I want the game to be hard, I just want it to be sensible, I would say. I used to pug in a lot of non-Permadeath groups and found that the gameplay ended up being a bit silly. People deliberately charging into traps and dying because it happened to be the optimum strategy, as it were, for that quest. And that kind of thing bugs me, so Permadeath, the tactics are much more sensible, people don't do crazy shit.
The Sahaugin keep close tabs on the comings and goings of the Korthos village citizens from this overlook.
It also has the side benefit that anyone that makes it past about level 6 Permadeath is clearly a good player, so the groups tend to be of a pretty high standard. But I guess there are
Sahaugin have
non-permanent
turned
guilds
this
that also
tree
have a lot of
into a
good
site
players,
for
and so I guess it's not
sacrifices
unique
to
to
the
Permadeath. Gotta keep an eye on my spell components here. Burning for a lot of fine dust or whatever it is with Nyax. Are my Smite Evils regenerating? I didn't think they used to regenerate. It's been quite a while since I played a Paladin. Okay, what am I doing here? Alright, that's clear to the quest entrance here. So, 8 explorers. Which ones did I miss? I wasn't really paying attention because I was talking.
Steam billows from the hidden entrance to an underground complex.
9. Well, I will have missed the ones up in the center, I guess. This one's quite close. Let's grab this one at least. Yeah, so my plan here is to break my elite streak and go down to hard. Because this guy doesn't have any trapping ability and he won't have the protection from energy spells for a while yet, there's going to be lots of stuff in the harbour and even out on the island here that is too dangerous to do elite because I won't run through elite traps.
Devourer cultists keep a watchful eye over the seas from this strategic lookout.
The entrance to Necro Doom is an explorer. That's one of the two I'm missing. I won't bother going down there. That's a bit of a way to travel. Ah, the Falls is just here. I'll grab that one. I guess if I'm here I might as well go to Necro Doom as well.
The rumbling falls converge into a small body of water.
So yes, there's lots of quests that I won't be wanting to play on Elite on this guy, but I do want to establish a good Elite streak before I go into Miseries. So my plan is to get out of the way a bunch of quests at hard here, so I've got plenty of quests to do Elite later when I do Miseries.
The decrepit catacombs are slightly obscured by the falling water.
So I will leave the two easily elated quests out here, which is Necro Doom and Sacrifices, until later. I'll do those just before taking level 4, hopefully. And those can be building the start of my elite streak for Miseries, since Miseries is a lot of XP if you get it done elite with the full streak. That said, I have revised down my opinion of the bravery streaks generally. Although plus 50% seems like a really big bonus on the face of it, it's actually not that much compared to all the other bonuses you're getting. Typical quest, you're getting 100% for the quest itself. Then you get about 50-60% more for doing the onslaught bonus and the breakables bonus. You get the basic 80% for doing it first time on elite anyway. You get there are bonuses for I think there's the 20% bonus they've got now for the first time you do a given quest in a day. There are guildship bonuses and so forth. So by the time you add it all up, 50% of the quest base XP is not actually a very large proportion of the total XP that you get. So it's very much nice to have, especially at low levels where I want to level up fast. No, the point is to do it hard. There we go. It's very nice to have, but it's by no means essential and definitely not worth risking your life for. Alright, so this quest is pretty dangerous on elite.
Grows down.
On hard, it is not really a problem.
Descends.
Yep, on elite there would be two guys coming from behind and two guys in front there. And you'd usually not be able to kill them both before they hit the lever and wake up the third guy. My intelligence is not bad on this guy. On hard, maybe I can make these.
You hear a gate ratcheting open somewhere behind you. You hear a gate ratcheting open somewhere behind you.
Real potions of Cure Light wins now. I wonder why they have the separate starter potions of Cure Light wins.
The tunnel splits here. Which way to the giantish device?
Although it's only hard, the enemies are definitely much tougher in here than in the Explorer area, scaled for normal outside. Why are the Sahaugin keeping their warriors locked up?
Ratcheting machinery.
The sound of distant snoring warns you that you are not alone here. If you're careful, you may be able to take the sleeping guards by surprise.
I do like some of these Korthos quests. This one's a favourite of mine, as I've mentioned in previous videos. It's one of the quests that sold me on the game. Picked up the Molly's Great Axe from doing the Collaborator.
But what are they guarding?
Which I should probably be using now since I'm meleeing quite a bit on this guy now.
The extravagant gong in this room looks capable of truly ear-shattering noise. With the gong's reverberations, you hear a slight rumble from the larger room, but then it stops. second strike of the gong produces the telltale sound of cracking ice.
It's a pity that Smite Evil uses my Paladin level. Still, the attack bonus is handy, given I won't have a great to hit on this guy.
You spot a rusty hatch submerged in the putrid water.
I'm definitely
You emerge
glad.
from the murky water with great relief. The air seems slightly cooler here. The temperature plunges as you ford ahead. The giantish device must be near.
Glad that I took Maximize as level 1. Works very nicely for the SLAs. This is the first time I've really used Shocking Grasp extensively on a character. It wasn't an explicit part of my plan really for the character, but it makes a lot of sense now. I decided to use the Paladin levels, using a melee range spell at low levels is pretty handy, because a lot of the other spells at level 1 are really not that potent. There's really very little point in casting Burning Hands or Acid Spray at these low, well, certainly not at level 1 or 2. They just don't do enough damage yet to be worthwhile. They look good, but they don't actually do enough damage to be useful really until level 5. I guess a bit earlier if you're using the Sorcerer Savants to boost your caster level. Well, I can't use Nyx on this guy, so I need him to come to me. He lost interest. That's inconvenient. I am not going near that trap. The ship buffs and the boots I just picked up pretty much negated the damage from that guy.
Ahead is the giantish device. The freezing mists it is spewing are directed the wrong way. With the right timing, you can get close enough to redirect them.
Okay, that trap is why I'm not doing the quest on Elite, of course. Way too dangerous to jump through that on Elite. At least too dangerous without evasion. Even with evasion, I wouldn't try it. So I only do this elite if I have a trapping character. Or somebody in the party who's foolish enough to jump through it for me. Amusingly, I'm using Nyax to break the frozen statues there.
The mist solidifies into ice over the ancient creature, but it's not enough. You need both jets to affect a thing of this size. A layer of ice forms over the ancient creature, guaranteeing its slumber. Korthos is safe for now.
Okay, nice. I should go out and spend those action points. And then I'll be right back with another
billows
quest.
from the hidden entrance to an underground complex.
Actually, I'll check on the rear.
The Sahaugin have turned this tree into a site for sacrifices to the devoured.
No, I don't see any rare over there. Okay, I will be right back after spending some action points. Concentration is always good. Alright, so I'm heading over to Redemption now, since that is one that is very hard to solo elite. Certainly on a character with no healing. And I guess it would depend whether I wanted to take my second paladin level quickly. I could take the paladin level at next level, and then I would have lay on hands, but I don't really feel like doing that just because of this one quest. And without it, all I have is Cure Light Wands, which I don't think is practical in here. So I put my 2 enhancement points in maximizing my, in maxing out my Shocking Grasp SLA. since that seems to be working quite well so far. It won't be so good for the cobalt content, I guess, but it's good for all this stuff.
A mangled sewer grate leads to an old abandoned Cannith manufactory.
Alright, on a full hard streak now.
You enter one of the laboratories where decades ago House Cannith first imbued. The doorway ahead has been boarded up. Oddly, the work looks very recent.
So this one is pretty easy other than the end fight. The end fight is a problem these days because they made Hayton much weaker than he used to be. It wasn't that bad last time I came through here solo, but it's bad enough I don't expect I could get through it solo on this guy. Yes, the 4-second cooldown on the SLA is much nicer.
As you twist the second valve closed, the hissing stops.
For some of this low-level stuff, the Shocking Grasp SLA on a 4-second time down is probably all I need. I think 2 spell points per cast. Still trying to max out my XP all the way, of course. As people who've been watching my previous playlists on YouTube will know, I play very dungeon crawly and tend to try and get all the bonuses. Definitely advantageous at low levels here.
Compressed energy resolutely blocks your path. You hope you can find a way to disable it somewhere.
After this quest, I will be heading over to the harbour, I think. Lots of stuff to do on hard in there.
Chemical compound coat these humming Cannith power crystals in a hard protected layer. You also notice several valves of various sizes spread upon turning the valve. You hear a definite alteration in the pitch of the hiss as the gas struggles to flow around your obstruction.
It always seems like these jets should be more lethal than they are. I guess it would be a bit harsh in the beginner content to make them lethal.
Without the alchemical jets coating the Cannith power crystals, you can now easily destroy them. The last crystal shatters, the hum of power slowly fades into a heavy silence.
Such a good DM line. Okay, don't think I need to shrine here.
Who in the flame are you?
Sadly my spells are very little use for the end fight. I've got no crowd control, which is why I'm not doing this elite, of course.
Oh no. The Sahaugin found me.
Suddenly the air shimmers with devourer magic. The Sahaugin have followed you in and are attacking. Ethan's life is in your hands.
It'll take more than that to put me down, Sahaugin. They wouldn't have sent so few after. Stay alert. Sahaugin are still blocking our escape. Watch
This is
for
not
more
going well.
attacks.
No area damage.
Amalgam, protect me! Sahaugin scum! Keep coming! I won't die that easily.
This could be close.
Now do you see what I have to deal with? Once the Sahaugin get your scent, they won't stop until you're dead. The shield is weakening. We might actually get through this.
Yeah, the
Just
Great Axe is
hold
better.
for a little
Cause
longer.
more aggro. I really wish their animation when they jumped in was less annoying though. They don't actually become available for targeting purposes
Sahaugin
until a few
magic is
seconds
gone.
after they jump in.
We beat them off. This time.
Which is really annoying when you've got
Looks
stuff
weary
like
after
Smite
surviving
Evil and
this
Shocking
latest
Grasp.
attack. Perhaps you should talk to him again.
Go now. Tell Ursa to hold the barricade just a little longer. Then meet Amalgam at the base of Misery's Peak when you're ready.
With Hayton finally persuaded to help, the people of Korthos might finally win their struggle.
Alright. Well, that's the trickiest one at level 1 out of the way. That's it for this video. See you next time in the harbour.